and welcome to a very special episode of Goa Connect, and we are discussing something interesting happening in this neighboring state, which will have an impact on the state of Goa as well. In the studio to discuss this development, I am joined by Lieutenant Colonel Ratnesh Sinha. Now, Ratnesh Sinha has a career spanning of over 35 years, has a distinct contribution in senior corporate and international advisory role. He has been recognized for driving operational excellence through strategic initiatives. With extensive experience in managing schools, colleges, and training institutions, his strategic thinking, governance mechanism, and driving cross-culture teams has created sustainable framework for nurturing talent and empowering the next generation. Presently, he is the Chief Executive Officer of Bhonsale Knowledge City, a group of premium educational institutions, and also the Commandant at Shri Yashwantrao Bhonsale Military School in Sindhudurg district, Maharashtra. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rohit.
We've heard a lot about Bhonsale Knowledge City. It's a premier educational institution, having a lot of disciplines at one place. It looks, people, especially here in Goa, will look forward to, visiting. I have been part of, I've seen the campus, and also a lot of people might have heard. Just tell us in gist, for my viewers who haven't heard maybe, or maybe heard, but haven't visited BKC. What would you like to say about this campus?
See, Bhonsale Knowledge City is like a group of educational institutions. So we have a BTech college, it's an engineering degree college. We have a polytechnic, we have a pharmacy college, we have a diploma in pharmacy, we have a master's in pharmacy. In fact, we were the first pharmacy college to, establish in Sindhudurg. We started small, and all this has been possible because of the vision of our founder and executive chairman, Shri Bhonsale Sawant. His passion was to bring quality education to the rural area of Sindhudurg and put the youth on track. And he has done a phenomenal job, Rohit.
True.
It's like he's the local hero. It's to be seen to be believed as to how the things have manifested. Started as a small polytechnic in 2014, and today we are like thinking about going autonomous, getting into a university status, and especially the Sainik School which is coming up. We have been approved by the Ministry of Defence for under the aegis of Sainik School Society for running this Sainik School. So that's a feather in the cap.
I am tempted to ask you, because a lot of institutions that look forward to with respect to discipline, they would rather go to commercial, whereas a lot of scope, or maybe a lot of people would like to enroll. That is what has been done in one of the decades that you guys performed. After that, now all of a sudden your journey into Sainik School, which you have just been approved by the Ministry of Defence. How did this journey, this inclination happen? Was it always passion of the chairman? Or is it something that, there was a thought process, there was vision, and everybody, bowed out to say, let's do it?
See, Sindhudurg, if we really look at the district, it is primarily consisting of soldiers in the ranks, okay? There are almost 10,000 strength of ex-servicemen from Sindhudurg district itself, almost like it's growing in fact. Yeah, but mostly they are from the ranks, right?
Okay.
So the awareness of getting commissioned as an officer is not there. So the vision of any Sainik school is to train students to become officers, and especially the rural students, the rural area population. They need to aspire to be an officer.
Correct.
And especially like if the parents are sending the kids to the defense, so they're not aware. So what happens, I've seen a lot of competent people, they join as in the ranks, and then over a period of time they realize that, okay, they took the wrong entry. Yeah, so then they have to struggle a lot to then get eventually to the officer cadre. That is the main thing.
So I really want to ask you is, with respect to the closest school, I believe, will be for Goa, will be Sindhudurg one.
Absolutely.
The next, I believe, when we were discussing, it is Sangli.
Yeah.
The next is Satara.
Correct.
This is by the central, the
Ministry
of Defence.
Yes, central government.
So if I want to enter into premier Sainik School, it is the Sindhudurg that is opening door for me. That's the closest
Absolutely.
one. I really want to ask you is, this evolution of Sainik School or military schools, what would you like to say? Because a lot of people here, especially here in Goa, would rather go to a traditional school, whichever is close by or whichever has certain aspirations that they associate with. But I don't think a lot of people would be open to even understand or discuss in-house of sending their kid to a Sainik school. So how does this evolution begin, and how does Goan population address to this issue?
Okay, you see, the roots of military training at the school level dates back to the Britishers' time. Okay, so we used to have a few military schools, which were formed during King George's time. So all the ex-students of military school call themselves Georgians. Then we have this Rashtriya Indian Military College, RAMC they call it popularly. So these things were existing prior to our independence also. Yeah. So in the early 60s, in fact, then Defense Minister, Dr. Menon, I guess, he was the one who, it was his vision to establish these Sainik schools. And the first Sainik school to come up was Sainik School Satara in 1961.
Oh, that's the first one.
First one, yeah. And there were a lot of other Sainik schools which followed very close by, like Kunjpura, Tilaya. There are total 33 Sainik schools. So that's what happened. And I personally feel it was another very important reason was to break the class barrier. Because there was a time when a lot of affluent family
would go.
Children used to join the defense. Royal family students used to join the forces, So it was also to balance the class divide and to attract the rural youth to join the defense as officers.
Okay. Especially you mentioned a couple of old schools that were there, like for pre-independence era. Is there any difference between the old school, because definitely the charm would be a different old school and the new school, or is it the same curriculum, same approach that is taken across everywhere in the country?
The ethos is the same. It's the same, exactly no difference. It is just that they are richer in heritage. Their culture is vibrant, and you take pride that we are so many years old. Apart from that, in modern times, almost all Sainik schools have the same facilities, and as the older schools offer, the staff is older. Let us say, just the let's say external facilities. If you really say a larger auditorium, maybe a bigger building, larger area in acres, like
operations.
An original Sainik school with would be spread across 70-80 acres, like maybe 100 acres. But the new schools which are coming up, they are, let's say, 15-20 acres, 25 acres, the expanse of the school.
Okay.
So you really don't need that kind of an area.
Just like all the other countries that have some mandatory military training required for all its citizens, do you feel that India may be shayad aisa hona chahiye? Because the kind of population that we have, if even maybe 20-30% convert, I think it will be a huge strength for the country. What is your outlook to that?
Well, this has been a very common debate, and we have grown up hearing to this debate. You see, that they should make the military training compulsory in India, so all these civilians get on track and all that stuff. There's so much of thought which has gone into it. It is really not possible, as you said. We are a huge country. It's not possible to have military training compulsory. The government had to take out this scheme of Agniveers.
Correct.
Just to control the expenditure and the loss to the exchequer and things of that sort. So that's another debate whether it should have come out or not. We'll not get into that. But what I really want to say is that Sainik schools are a very good kind of an alternative to compulsory military training. They compensate for that, because a child who goes through a Sainik school training, automatically it's compulsory military training. He gets to shoot weapons, he gets to do whatever activities a soldier does, in controlled environment, without any risk to that individual. So that's what I personally feel.
Nice. Okay, let us compare the new schools or the newer age schools that are there vis-a-vis the present schools that are there in our vicinity. The reason why I'm asking you is with respect to the approach of discipline, the value that is taught at the school, so that my viewers can start understanding is what is that USP that makes Sainik School different than other schools which are available here in Goa.
You see, there is no other school or there is no other institution in the private world, in the general commercial world, which we talk about, right? Which will be able to afford this kind of, you can say, training, the holistic approach which is offered by a Sainik school or a military school. Because the total underlying philosophy is different. The children who are joining the Sainik schools and the parents who have allowed the children to come to Sainik schools, they all want the children to become officers in the defense services, right? So they have a different passion. Just imagine a small kid from the 6th standard, is ready to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and fall in at 6 a.m. for doing PT.
Nice.
You see, and he's motivated.
Correct.
You go to any Sainik school, right?
And that's the
child is motivated. No one is forcing him to do it. You ask your child to get up at 5 in the morning.
I won't. Forget about my child.
Okay.
So I think that is the passion that is required by the student as well,
Absolutely.
the kids as well as the parents, the commitment that is
Correct.
you nicely mentioned that allowed, the parents have allowed,
Yeah.
but I think parent has also have to decide that I have to let my kid enter
Exactly.
into a Sainik school and be detached.
If a parent doesn't want, it will not happen.
Correct. Very
As
true.
simple as that.
Also, is when you say with respect to USP, what is the overall development of a child that takes place? You mentioned that it is 6 a.m. in the morning, and I think it will continue so around 5 or 6 or 7. What is
Till
the
about
day
8 p.m. Yeah.
So
Child is on
it
the
has
toes.
everything that is required, whether it is sports, whether it is education, whether it is academics, everything is part of it. What is the overall development that you guys get to the person, the child, with respect to the student, vis-a-vis any other school that is...
See, like I said, it's a holistic development. Okay. As far as the academics and the curriculum is concerned, there is no difference. We are following the CBSE pattern of education.
Okay.
Okay. It is the other things which matter, right? And we are not training students to become geniuses. We are not training them to become scientists, frankly speaking.
Okay.
But in spite of that, there are a lot of students who get into that route also. Okay. But we are training them to be officers in the defense, right? So that holistic development is very important. And it's not only, see, a lot of, this word has become very fashionable, holistic nowadays, okay?
Correct.
A lot of people have been using it. You go to an Ivy League college, they say holistic development for a child, yeah? But when we talk about holistic, it is courage, it is valor, it is fearlessness. These are the qualities and discipline naturally in the child. You see, these are the things which we are trying to inculcate in the child. Yeah. So it's not only, you see, from the point of view of joining the services. If you really see at the end of the day, when children pass out their 12th, from one batch of 60 or 70 or 80 maybe, only 3 or 4 or 5 would become officers. Rest could be that not a single person from that entire class has been able to get into the NDA, right? Or eventually into the forces.
Nice.
But everybody who passes through the Sainik school, you ask any child without exception, okay, would be a leader wherever he goes.
Nice.
Simple
That's the teaching that Sainik
Exactly.
School gets on board.
Yeah.
Also, if you can elaborate, because every school has academics, every school has sports, every school has co-curricular activities. I believe it will be there in your school as well. But can you elaborate on what is the difference that you will add with respect to sports, whether it is nurturing somebody's talent in sports as well or in co-curricular activities, so that there is a so-called holistic development that is required?
Okay, you see, we identify the core potential of the child. We'll see what his capability is, what his desire to be is, like what is his aspiration in life, right? And what is his basic nature? Like it's a pure psychometric analysis we do for students, right? And thereafter, we give a personal attention to almost every child. The staff is trained like that. Okay. And let us say there's somebody who has the potential of being a great shooter, right? So we are developing, we are a new school, we're just approved,
Of
okay?
course, yeah.
So we are developing a world-class state-of-the-art shooting range, and we'll train the child to be a world-class shooter. Maybe he would be able to reach the Olympics.
So basically, he'll get all the facilities that is required for his passion or his talent that he or she has.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, you mentioned psychometric analysis, and you also mentioned that you are a counseling psychologist as well. Now, a lot of people, I wouldn't know how it is in the other states, but Goa, obviously, the parents are very possessive of their kids. They would decide a lot of things for them. The most important thing is they won't let them go away, especially in a boarding school. Though we end up, scaring our child, saying that we'll send you to the boarding school, but we don't. With respect to this kind of a phenomenon that is everywhere here in Goa, how do you cater to a parent's dilemma of sending a child away maybe 100 odd kilometers and who is also aware that there is a schedule that he or she has to follow? What is your take on that?
Well, that's a very interesting question.
I hope I didn't scare you before.
No, no, it's a very tough question to answer, because if I say something, in favor of the child, maybe the parents will get angry, and okay, or vice versa. But it is something which obviously a family has to decide with, okay, whether they want to send the child in the boarding or not. Okay, but if you really ask me, 6th is little tender. Yeah, parents are very right. They say that 9th, 10th is okay to send the child for boarding, right? But if the family has got this, the passion has to be within the family also. Mother, father both have to be passionate, right? And they see a lot of truth in their child becoming an officer, and they really feel strongly about the son or the daughter serving the nation. Okay, then I think 6th is the right age. The child is about 10, 11 years old. Okay, and that is the time when 5, 6 years are required to ingrain those qualities of discipline, valor,
initially,
and all those qualities which you need to become an officer. Okay. They have to be ingrained. They have to be beaten into the child, into the individual.
Yeah, this is one part of the story, parents ka. I really want to know, does a child adjust to this? Because you have visited a lot of Sainik schools, you have met a lot of kids. Does a student adjust to that tender age which you rightly mentioned?
See, initially...
such a residential...
initially, I think almost all the kids have a problem.
Okay.
Initially, they do have this, miss their mother, they miss their father, they miss home food, everything will happen accordingly. But let it go down a month or 2 months, right? When they go home after that, they say, I want to go back to the hostel. Because that energy, the peer influence is very strong. And they do it in a group, man.
Correct.
So when you do those activities in a group,
correct,
it doesn't appear as if it's a burden.
It's part of the
life. And you
life.
look forward to it.
Yeah, it's part of the life then.
Yeah, you talk to any child who's done 1 year in 6th standard also, he will say, no, I don't want to go back. That is the fact.
But why do you consider this grade 6th as the entry point? Why not maybe later? Just your thought on that.
No, like I said, 6 years are required. See, primary school 5th finished. Okay, done.
Correct.
Yeah, but 6th onwards, the time which would be required for personality to shape up. Okay, what we really, and it's not, I who's saying that. It has been established over the years.
Correct.
There are so many educationists, psychologists, thinkers who have come and deliberated on this issue. What you're asking me has been debated upon in cabinet meetings, etc., everywhere.
So that's the perfect age.
Yeah, so that is the perfect age. The child is breaking away, into his adolescence, and he's getting, he thinks that, yeah, I'm a grown-up boy now, and he feels, yeah, I would love to be a soldier. The child also can take a decision at that stage.
Okay.
And I'm yet to come across somebody who has regretted that decision. Yeah.
Okay. Now that you're opening doors to a lot of aspiring soldiers at your campus, what are the facilities and the support that you intend to give and this is purely the BKC, the custodians of the Sainik School that is here at Sindhudurg. How are you supporting and how are you nurturing? What's your approach?
See, the first and foremost is that we need to handle the students with care, right? To give them, they are away from the families,
Correct.
right? So the closest, we cannot be mother and father, obviously, but we can be closest to that. We can have that empathy in dealing with them. We are not there, we are not strict disciplinarians like you have in the academies. Yeah, we have to handle them sensitively, gently. You know, it is something like you hold a dove in your hand in such a way that you don't put pressure
Correct.
to hurt the dove, similarly tight enough to not let it fly away.
Correct.
Okay, so it is something like that. Yeah? So that is the challenge also which we are there. We have to do a lot of training to our staff as to how to give them that feeling. You know, I always tell all my staff that you have to consider every child as your own child. And every child has to get that personal attention. You know, that is the challenge which we also have. Yeah, but we are able to get there. Like we're proud of that. You know, we eventually get there.
So you feel that the potential at Sindhudurg is huge. I'm not speaking only on the Sindhudurg district, but also the peripheral areas that are there. So you're quite confident that you will have a great run with respect to this venture of yours.
See, it's not only about Sindhudurg, Rohit, right? I really feel that parents across the country, take the decision of sending their kids for a Sainik School admission or a Sainik School training, because it really matters. Yeah. And Sindhudurg, yeah, we are happy here. We are proud that we've got this
huge campus, huge support,
nice campus, good facilities.
True.
So yeah, I do feel that we will be able to get there.
Okay, before we end the show, the last question that I'd really like to ask you is, how does Sainik School contribute to the nation building and leadership that is beyond maybe service, or beyond maybe armed forces?
Okay, before I get to that, I need to give some statistics.
Okay.
People need to understand that currently there are just about, if you talk about the old Sainik schools, there were 33 old Sainik schools.
Correct.
And then the government decided to come up with 100 new Sainik schools. So, and out of these 100, 69 have already been commissioned. Yeah. So, if we talk about the existing 33, the old ones, the vacancies there were just 3,000. Just imagine 3,000 only for standard 6th all over the country. And the number of students appearing in the exam are more than 1 lakh, almost 1.25, 1.3 lakhs. Right.
Correct.
The percentage of students getting admitted is just about 3% 2 to 3%.
True.
Right? Even after commissioning the 69 new schools, the vacancies which we have been able to add up gets to only 10,000. Right? Still it's 10%.
Correct.
Right? So there is huge competition out there. And there's when we talk about the entrance exam, it's like CET and PMT.
Of course.
Right? And we have spot rounds and cap rounds and whatnot for selection for 6th grade students. So parents are there who want their kids to be, enrolled in these institutions, right? And the other thing, again, very important, which I missed out in answering one of your questions, the kind of facilities we offer. We have a state-of-art Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a big shooting range, archery. We have, international racing track, open firing range, right? NCC training compulsory, mandatory for the students of Sainik School. Nice. All these aspects combined make it a great proposition. And if you look at the economics of it, if we talk about India, the big schools which are offering riding, swimming, shooting, okay, their fees is anyway 10 lakhs plus, okay, and our fees is like 1/4 or not even 1/4, at least 1/10 of that price which these big schools are charging. And you're getting that kind of facility, right? So that really adds on to where the child gets the exposure, and it's not only again only the physical military training or the academics, it is something like you're giving them an exposure. And now we all have got a global exposure, international exposure, right? So we are training the students to be global citizens as well.
Global
right?
leaders. Very
So, in case the student doesn't get through the, let's say,
Selection
defense
process, yeah.
selection process, right? So, he's competent enough to be, to get comfortable in any profession
sector.
across the world.
Correct.
You know, that is the whole bottom line. Yeah,
I think-
and yeah, the last thing which
Yeah.
your question, I'll come back to that.
Contribution.
Contribution. Yeah, well, this is a message which I should give to all the parents. Yeah, that one thing you must teach your children is to be fearless, okay? And you yourself should be fearless. You should not have any doubts in your mind about your child's future, right? And I always quote Khalil Gibran in such cases, you know. He says that children are like arrows in your quiver. They come from you, but not for you.
Okay, nice. That's
Okay,
fantastic.
and the whole idea is to ensure, like if I have a child, you know, I want the child to be fearless. When he steps out in the world, when the bird flies away, it should be able to cope up with the vagaries of the world. They should be strong, right? And Sainik School gives that. Your child will never, ever turn out to be a pansy. So say, and that's not the right word, not the right word to use. Okay, maybe I think that should be off. But the child will never, ever, you know, have any doubts about himself or herself.
I think one interesting thing is you know, at Sainik School you intend to make everybody a global leader. That is the approach that is required. And if you can't, maybe if for some reason, if you are not able to, you know, get through, then you are able to get into any and every sector that is available here across the globe as well. So I think that is a learning that, you know, Sainik School brings. That's the USP, I believe, in the entire conversation.
Absolutely, yeah.
Colonel Saab, it has been a fantastic conversation. I think the kind of energy and enthusiasm that you got on this table, I think, I believe that same energy has been reciprocated to my viewers, and they might have had a second thought as to whether they should send their kids to the Sainik School, which is opening its door in Sindhudurg, which is the closest one for Goa. I think my best wishes from my entire team for your journey.
Thank you so much.
Especially the institution's journey, that is BKC, as you venture into this new initiative of yours. Pleasure it was to have you here in the studio and have this fantastic conversation.
Thank you,
Pleasure.
Rohit. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.